Well, hello and welcome to another video by Antiques Arena. My name's Walter Neal. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a UK reseller. I buy and sell antiques, collectibles and flip them for a profit. That's the plan anyway. I buy from anywhere I can really, charity shops, antique fairs, flea markets. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm buying what I love. Now, this weekend I went to Malvern. Which is one of the largest flea markets in the country. It's up in the Three County Showground in Worcester, up in England, UK, and honestly, I didn't get around it in a full day, but I've spent north of £1,000. I think it was about £1,400 with me, £1,500 with me, and I spent out. I ran out of money up there. So, as you can imagine, I've got some beautiful stuff. Now I'm going to split it into two films, but you're going to get to see some absolutely spectacular stock for today. Now, understand, this isn't going to be like my normal car boot sale video where I buy something for £1 or £2. I've actually paid a lot of money for some of this stuff, so I'm really hoping that it turns up trumps. So shall we get started so you can actually have a look what I've bought and judge, see what you think for yourself, if I've done any good. I'm going to start off with one of my favourite buys of the day, I really am. Okay, so we have a very large fruit bowl made of pewter, English pewter. Doesn't look a huge amount, does it, on the photograph? Let me move in closer for you. You've got these beautiful feet here coming up into almost vertical flowers or plants. Upright plants, I think they're called. This particular piece was designed by Oliver Baker, produced for Liberty & Co. This is the Tudor range, the likes of Archibald Knox and that worked for. And it is a fully signed example. I'll obviously splice in photographs, but this example is signed or stamped English pewter, made by Liberty & Co. 01029 is the patent number. As you can see against myself, this is a very large bowl. Oliver Baker was a famous artist. He was a silversmith, he was an engraver or etcher, he was a designer. He constantly exhibited in the Royal Academy. He was registered in the Royal Academy of Art. What can I say about this piece? It is spectacular. Now, as I've told you, they didn't come in cheap. This bowl cost me £130. Shall we go take a look at some of the research? Okay, so been doing some searching online and I found a couple of these bowls in a polished pewter form. Now these look silver, but they're not, they are actually pewter. This particular example was sold in an auction house. I couldn't see the date. In 11th November 2015, so it was sold 5 years ago. And it was sold with another small bowl of the same maker and similar design, which is this one. Now this achieved £525 plus buyer's premium. No, inclusive of buyer's premium. So that makes that something like £300 give or take, which is okay, it's not a bad result. Then I come across here, and this is currently up for sale at this moment in time. Is identical bowl, highly polished again, so it hasn't got the original patina, it's just highly polished. They've got it all here, Liberty & Co, Oliver Baker, 1902, does it say polished pewter arts and crafts? So there you go. So this is a pewter example, it's just been highly polished, and they're asking, if you see it highlighted in blue there, £1,150 for this bowl. I found another. This had original patina, sold through a gallery, but there's no price, unfortunately. That one was sold. Okay, so what we got going for it? We got a very large arts and crafts hammered pewter bowl, produced by one of the best names in the world, Liberty & Co. A well-known documented design, good proportion, in good condition, fully signed. We've seen some sold around the 300 mark about 5 years ago. The only one I can find available now is £1,150. There isn't another available. So I'm thinking somewhere around 600 to 800 asking price, see what I get offered. Got to be fair. I'm well under what the other available is, and there isn't another available. So if they want one, they're going to either have to pay my price, or pay the other price, or make an offer. Now, mine could be polished up to look like the others, but mine's got the original patina, and a lot of collectors want the original patina. So value-wise, I think it's got to be 600 to 800. If I ended up and they don't sell in a year or two, I can drop it down to 400 or 500. It doesn't matter. I paid £130 for it. I'm on a cracking winner there. You're going to have to excuse the wardrobe change. I was really busy in the shop yesterday, so I've come back this evening to finish the video off because I want to get this stuff up for sale. So the shop isn't actually open at the moment. Now my next purchase is quite spectacular. Now this is an early, or pretty much the original willow pattern. It's in blue and white. Now all this is hand painted. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll show you the back. Now this is Chinese porcelain of the Qinglong period, which is 1735 to about 1796 or somewhere around that area. So you're talking, this is an 18th century platter. It's quite spectacular. I haven't had one this big in a long time, and I haven't had one in this good a condition. Apart from the odd little rim chip or rim frit, this is in lovely condition. It's a beautiful plate, or meat plate, charger, whatever you want to call it, platter. Somebody wrote their name on there, obviously loved it. I would absolutely love it myself. It's a beautiful thing. Now with Chinese porcelain, what values them is the pattern. Obviously size, once you get over a certain size it becomes quite rare and the prices shoot up. Condition's important, but pattern's also very important. This isn't the most commercial pattern. The willow pattern's been done, believe it or not, it's still being produced today, the pattern itself. This is one of the earliest forms of the pattern. Late Qinglong period, I think this is late in the period, probably 1780, 1790, something like that. But it's a beautiful thing. And in lovely condition, and I love the quality of the painting. Now I paid £150 for this. This is a large platter. This isn't a small meat plate by any means. I'll do some photographs and give you the measurements of size and things now in just a second. For a beautiful original 18th century Chinese porcelain plate. We'll have a little look at these now. It's not going to be easy because, as I've said, pattern changes price. If I had this size plate with deer or horses and things like that on there running along the countryside, you could be anything up to like £1,000. The pattern makes a difference, but without doing the research, personally I think it's got to be around an easy double your money. It's got to be a £300 to £400 charger, no problem whatsoever. But we'll have a little look now. Okay, so I've picked just a few examples to show you that have sold, either sold or up for sale. Now, first of all, here we have a Qinglong period, 18th century blue and white platter or meat plate, whatever you want to call them. Now, this one's particularly nice, as in it's got the pheasants around the fence and everything. That's a nice example. In good condition. Now, when we come down to the size, it's 31 centimeters long. So it is 12 inches and 22 centimeters wide, which is about 9 inches. So this is a small, really small example. This is not a large piece. And they're asking 300, or sold it for 300 rather. You have this example here, again, 18th century Chinese Qinglong period octagonal plate or platter. Now this is very close to what I got, as in a variation of the willow pattern. And size on this one, again, is 32 centimeters, which is only 12 inches. Okay, move on to this one here. They're asking $500. They don't even know if it's 18th or 19th century, or they're saying it may be late 18th, early 19th. Let me see that back. That's clearly a late 18th century piece. I'd say that's definitely Qinglong period. They're asking £381 or $500. And size, this is only 23 centimeters long. So if I look at 23 centimeters, it is only 9 inches long. Now mine is over 16. It's between 16 and 16 and a half inches long. That gives you an idea just how big this platter is that I got. It's quite exceptional. And looking at the £300 they're getting for platters less than half the size, maybe I need to up my price to maybe £400. Now, not every Chinese porcelain plate you see on eBay is real. I've come across to this example here. They've got this listed as a Chinese porcelain plate. Again, it's the willow pattern. You can see this is the pattern, or very similar pattern to what I got. However, this is English. These impressed marks here and all this glaze and this foot rim, this is an English plate. This is not a Chinese porcelain plate. They're asking £250 for it. It's down as Chinese porcelain, blue and white octagonal plate, 18th century marked. It is not a Chinese plate in my opinion. It's English. Now one is 45 centimeters long, which it would be half a meter standard for English plates. So not all, be careful on eBay, not all the Chinese porcelain plates you see are real. Now, looking at that research, I'm confident that I'm going to achieve about £400 for my meat plate. So for £150, it is a cracking buy. Mine is large, and I mean large. Just so that you can have a look for yourselves. Bear with me. It is just under, or just over rather, 16 inches. So it's about 16 and a quarter inches. So we're talking 4 to 4.5 inches longer than any of the other plates we've seen, which then makes them down like that. So you can imagine how much bigger this is compared to them. This is a beautiful example. You don't find them this size and in this condition very often. I'm really pleased. £150, I think, to be honest with you, was a gift. Okay, next thing we're going to look at, I purchased off the same gentleman as the Chinese charger. I done a job lot deal. We knocked the prices right down. These owe me £30. Now we have a pair of 18th century brass candlesticks. Now these date to about 1725 to 1750, so the second quarter of the 18th century. They're in good condition, the pair of them. Really are nice. Now that hole is supposed to be there. It's for pushing out the candle. Beautiful things. Now, one of the ways to date these obviously is the stem, the size, but the foot. The foot is very important. Now you take a look at that foot. I'm going to show you an image now out of my candlestick book, which will help you date candlesticks. Okay, so this is a photograph of the page out of my candlestick book. Now, if you look here, it's telling you the different feet and dating them for you. Now, this particular one here that I'm circling in the center on the left is the one I have, which is the 1725 to 1750. The cutout corners, the dipped, and then the dipped circular part in the center. Now, if you look, it'll give you all the different feet and the dates, 1748 to 68 days, 1750 to 1770. Makes life so much easier when you have a reference book that will help you. So this is where we're going to focus. That is the foot I've got on my candlestick, which is 1725 to 1750. Now I'm going to share the book with you. This is an image of the book I have, which is the English Candlestick. I have done a book reference on this, if anybody's interested in going and look at what the book entails. And I'm also going to give you the ISBN. There's an image of the ISBN number of this book. It's a really good book. If you want to deal in brass candlesticks, then it's the way to go. Okay, so now we've come over to eBay and we've basically searched 18th century brass candlesticks, and I want to see what's available for sale. And look at the prices originally. People are asking for the originals. You know, £1,500 for a pair of brass candlesticks, £1,415 for another pair. Now, if you look at that second pair down, don't they look awful familiar? That is very, very similar to the pair I've got. The hole in the top there, very similar foot, not quite identical, but very similar. They're asking £1,500 for that pair, which is a lot of money here as far as I'm concerned, but hey ho. You know, some people are asking £1,000 for one candlestick, 600 for a pair, 600 for a pair. Now, personally, I think that's unrealistic money. I don't think they're going to achieve it. 400. I'm looking for a pair now that will coincide with what I've got and what I think. 210 there. Mine should be better than them. 150 there for a pair. Similar base there. There's the base. So that's a similar period to mine. They've got their 1750. That's because of this flare at the top. The same foot as what I've got. So I think mine are a bit earlier than these, and they want 155. If we come across here, £65 for a single with the same foot and without the sconce. That's just as a single. So I think you'll agree, £30 for a pair in very good condition of 18th century brass candlesticks that are going to retail, in my opinion, somewhere between £200 and £300 for the pair. Okay, this next piece we're going to look at is quite spectacular. Now, if you look at it here, first thing that comes to your mind is Chinese porcelain. You have this beautiful spearhead border here that you find on Qinglong period. The enamels are quite stunning, and it has this amazing armorial to the center. However, this isn't an 18th century Chinese armorial plate. This is a 19th century this is a 19th century porcelain plate, a copy of a Chinese plate. Now, there was a forger or a copier born in Paris in 1810 and set up his own workshop in the late 1830s, known as Samson. Now, Samson originally started out with the intention of supplying copies and reproductions to museums, or if people broke a piece of their dinner service or something, he'd replace it for them. But he ended up copying Sèvres, Meissen, Chinese porcelain, you name it, all the top factories he copied. His copies are that good, sometimes they're better than the originals. And considering everything pretty much was a fake or forgery, Samson now is collected in his own right. Now, this is a spectacular piece from the mid-19th century, probably, I would say this is probably about 1840 in date, give or take, something like that. It's spectacular. I love the armorial in the center. Now, most Samson porcelain is unmarked. However, this one has got a mark. Now, if you look at it, even the shape is right for an 18th century Chinese, everything. But this is Samson porcelain, and it is in beautiful condition. The enamels are beautiful and all there. This really is quite something. You've got all these beautiful flowers in the compartments, the armorial in the center. It is quite a stunning plate. Now this plate cost me £30 in Malvern, and I've done some research. I found a similar plate available. I've also going to show you some of the prices people are asking for Samson, and then I've done a sold listing to show you some of the sold prices people have achieved. So should we start off with a similar plate to what I've got? Okay, so we have a Samson Memorial plate, Puce floral coat of arms and shield. Now, you can see here, this one I don't think is as elaborate as mine. Mine has got a lot more tube lining going around all the compartments, around the border and so forth. The border's a lot finer. I prefer mine to this particular model. However, this is still a beautiful plate. Very similar crest in the center, not identical but similar. I wonder if this example is marked, because it is unusual to have them marked. Yes, this example is marked also. There you go, there's the Samson mark. A lot of Samson you find won't be marked. So they've sold this one for £130. Now I'm going to show you some Samson porcelain that's actually up for sale, and some of this is absolutely spectacular and amazing. And I'm going to skip past the figures. You got a pair of Samson porcelain baluster vases, Chinese style, 1377. What's he copying there? Chinese again. What's this one? Chelsea. He's copying Chelsea here. That's what I was looking for. It was different factories, just to give you an idea. So basically, is this one marked? Doesn't say. Oh, there you go. So this one's got a Chelsea mark. He's actually copied the Chelsea mark, even though it's Samson. And they are selling it as Adim Samson, but it does carry the Chelsea mark. But you can see the prices people are actually asking for some of this Samson stuff. It is in the hundreds, and I think the plate I got is quite special. So if I come over to the sold, we haven't got as much sold as I would like. There's a pair of Chinese style porcelain vases there, or planters by the looks of them. We have a memorial plate, French King coat of arms, Samson, Paris 1890, sold for 200, but that's probably because of the coat of arms. You got a pair of vases there, they lamped. 300. Little inkwell looking at that, is it? A bell push. Wow, £199. So that just gives you an idea anyway. That's just for you to have an idea. Samson porcelain pulls really good money. And this plate is in mint condition. I'm going to be putting 175 on it on the website, and I'll wait for the right offer. I've sold Samson in the past before. I've sold vases, you know, little 5-6 inch tall vases for 60s and 70s, and they've never been signed. This signed example of Samson porcelain in very close to near mint condition, it's got to be worth 150 to 170 pound in my opinion. So that's where we're at with that boot. Okay, so the next item I'm going to show you is a set of 6 of these. Now, these are quite spectacular. They're Bohemian crystal. They're hot glasses. Now, if you look at the stem here, you can see the stem's been beautifully faceted, and then they've notched all the way down. Hopefully you can see that. This bowl has been flashed in a ruby red and then cut back to reveal the pattern of clear. So you got the clear glass, and then they flash it in another color glass and then cut it back to do the pattern. Now this is Bohemian. I have a set of 6 of these, all in good condition, beautiful, beautiful glasses. Now, just because you see flashed glass doesn't mean it's Bohemian. Waterford, many people do this flashed glass, but these are, in my opinion, Bohemian examples. And they cost me £40 for the 6. So it's about £6.50 each glass, something like that. Now, I normally sell them £20 a stem for a good hock like this. So 6 hocks, do the math, is about £120 for my £40. So it's 3 to 1. But we'll have a look at eBay now. Okay, so these are actually up for sale. These are not sold prices yet. And you've got a set of 6 hocks there, 328. You got, with the blue, you got the black there, £300 for a set of 6. Let me just come down. You got mixed colours down here, £229. Nice facet stem there for £200. Let's have a look at these. These look very identical to what I've got. So there you go. These are very similar to what I've got. So you can see the cut stem there. Exact same stem as what I got with the notch in. The overlaid, these are flashed in a lighter ruby colour. But they've only got 5. I've got the full set of 6. And they're asking £170 for the 5. Beautiful glasses. Real nice quality. Again, mixed there. 170. Blue ones here, 150. You can see the sort of monies people are asking on these glasses, 133. If we come over to the soles, they do sell, as you can see. It's a set there of green, 116 enough. 4 hocks there. Are they hocks? They're saying hocks. They don't. Might be the picture. Let's look at the ones underneath. You got a set of 5 with the green, with plain stems, 145. A mixed set of 644. You get the point. For the set of 6 of these for £40, they're real top end quality. And let's be honest, I'm not going to struggle at £20 a stem, £120. I'll ask 125, 130 to take 120. They are quite spectacular. Hot glasses, believe it or not, you'll find around the car boot sales for £2, £3, £4. A single Waterford hot glass can be £100. Don't ever walk away from hocks and that just because they're a single. Okay, this next piece, as you know, I absolutely adore early drinking glasses. This next piece is a Georgian dram glass or Toastmasters glass. This example's got a very sharp pontil mark on the base there. You can see that. Loads away. It's got a nice conical foot, bladed nope stem, nice little collar here. The bowl is a deceptive bowl, so the bowl goes thicker as you go down to almost nothing. So basically, when you're having a toast, you're having a half or quarter measure and everyone else is having a full measure. So you can toast away all night and they're getting drunk and you're not. Now this glass is in lovely condition. It dates 1810, 1830, somewhere under there. No chips, no cracks. Now I actually paid £20 for this. But I rate that at a good £60. It is as clean and as good an example as you want. It's got all the styrations, the oily grey tone, or everything you want about it is there on this glass. It's even got a beautiful pontil mark, and I mean a nice pontil mark. As deceptive or Toastmastering glasses go, this is a really, really fine example. Now, if we have a look on eBay, I found a few available. There's the first example I found. We have a deceptive glass 1820, they date thereabouts, £53. We come across is another for £55, and there's another there for £49. All nice drinking glasses. Now, I could only find a couple of examples on the sold listing. I'm going to show you them in just a second. And to be totally honest with you, they don't do them justice. People have only said they're 19th century deceptive glass. They should be saying they're a Georgian, Georgia 4th, or Regency early drinking glass. They're really nice. Let me show you the examples I found on eBay. I was quite disappointed, to be totally honest with you. You got one here, early Victorian deceptive glass, £20. Another there, they put in as 1880, £20, and another there, £20. Let's have a look at it. So I think those examples are earlier than what they did, in my opinion. However, it makes no difference. They're the only ones I could find sold. Now that doesn't affect what I'm going to ask for this. I've sold enough 18th century, 19th century drinking glasses to know what I'm going to achieve for this. And I'm going to ask 60, and I'll probably achieve 50, £55 for this. It is such a nice example. For £20, I still got no fear whatsoever. Okay, so the next piece I'm going to show you is this beautiful Japanese bronze. Now she's quite something. The detail in the casting is quite spectacular. Hoping you can see all that. I'm going to splice in some photos as normal in just a moment. She's on what I believe to be some sort of marble base. She's got a handmade nut down there holding the base and the body on. Beautiful casting on the back. This really is a nice quality bronze. Now, I've paid £70 for this bronze. Personally, I'm thinking somewhere around 2 to 250, but I'm going to have a little research now and we'll see what we can find out. But before I do, I'm going to splice in the photos just so you can see just how beautiful it is. I believe it's Meiji period, late 19th, very early 20th, and really beautifully cast. This fan she got going around the back here has got birds and trees all over it. It's just a real nice bit of kit. So I'll splice in some photos and then we'll have a little look, see what we can find. Okay, try as I may, I couldn't find a comparable bronze on eBay or Google that I was happy to compare against mine. Now, I found plenty that was of similar quality, but they were coal painted with, well, obviously enamels. So they didn't really represent a fair comparison, so I can't compare them at the moment. However, I feel she's worth a couple of £100 of anybody's money. And that's roughly where she's going to be going, up for £200–250, give or take, somewhere over there. Moving on, I got an absolute corker. Do you love decoy ducks? Now this isn't a decoy. This is a cast iron, I believe, sink box. Now looking at this has got a good 100 years on there of age. It's cast iron. I don't know if you can see it in there. Plenty of wear. Now it's enamel, so it is weight with the enamel, which I'm not worried about one bit. So it's enamel on cast iron. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not sure, is there a mallard duck? I'm not 100% on my ducks. But basically what a sink box is, when they go duck hunting, they'd have a box that would literally, almost like a submarine if you like, just sink and just float just under the surface of the water. Then they'd have these sink boxes on them as a weight, if you like, holding them down or just to sit just on top of the water. From what I understand, that's what this is. Now, it's got good wear. It's beautiful piece, really is a beautiful thing. I'm not worried whatsoever about the bits of enamel wear here, there, and everywhere. It's got good authentic wear. Now, they're quite rare, these sink boxes. And if that's exactly what this is, a decoy sink box, then I've done very well. This owes me £30. Now, I can tell you now, looking at it and handling it, it's got some good age. This enamel wear and the enameling on the cast iron and everything doesn't happen overnight. I've handled enough metalware to know basically what I'm looking for. So it's got good wear, good age, and decoys are seriously collectible. Now, as I said, I paid £30 for it. And I'm going to show you some of the prices people are asking on cast iron decoy ducks or sink boxes. And you'll have a shock of your life. Have a look at these. Okay, so I just searched for an iron duck decoy basically on eBay, and these were the options that come up. We have one here, £673. We got another sink box here, cast iron, canvas back, duck sink box, decoy weight 381, 230 here, 187, 155. As you can see, these are all pull-in money. These are nice and unusual little boot scrapes. Decoy duck boot scrapes. 115 here. Now, there's not very many sold at all. 64, but that one's roached totally. There's nothing left on there. Okay, so there weren't very many decoy or iron decoy ducks sold. Very few on eBay for literally one or two for no money at all. I found quite a few sold in auction, in the live auctioneers, but you had to subscribe to find out their price guide. And there was one or two available at 3 to 4 and 4 to 500s now. So that's a nice, interesting lot. It's going to be £200-300 looking at it. It's a beautiful thing. So we'll see where I place that later on. A bit more research is needed. Moving on, I bought this absolutely beautiful blue and white porcelain plate. Now this is 19th century, hand painted, and it is Berlin porcelain. I can't pronounce the factory in German, but KPM, Berlin porcelain, this is basically the Royal Porcelain Factory. That's what it means. Now this mark, KPM mark, I found two conflicting websites. Okay, so one website is saying 1834 to 1837 is the mark. And I found another website, if I share now, here is basically showing the mark as used between 1840 and 1895, which is here. Registered at, I cannot even pronounce what that reads there, but okay. So basically we have a very fine and a very rare piece of Berlin porcelain, hand-painted, 19th century. Let's just assume it's mid-19th century at the moment. It may be a little later, 1870, 1880, I'm not 100%. Research needed. Beautiful condition, no damage, fully marked. It's nice to have a marked example. And this is a really nice, I think it's a derivative of the onion pattern, you know, done by Meissen. So, shall we have a little look, see what we can find on eBay, if anything, about Berlin porcelain pieces, and see if we can find anything like that. Okay, so searched eBay and all I searched for was Berlin, KPM, porcelain and onion because I believe it's a derivative of the onion pattern. Now I found a few pieces. There's 8 results. There's a square dish here, £77. A little plate here, £127. There's a pair of tiny saucers here, £35. A couple of baskets there, £550. That was it on the onion pattern. If I search Berlin porcelain, then it goes through the roof, 15,000, 20,000. It's just a waste of time. Come across here. This was the only piece of the onion pattern I could find that had been sold, and this was 499.77. And the size of this is 10.5 inches long. And they've put theirs down to early 20th century. So theirs is more modern than mine, but a damn sight more desirable. So it's not really a good comparison. Berlin porcelain, beautiful plate like this. I can tell you now, I'm going to be asking 60 or 70 pounds for it, no problem at all. I paid a tenner. So it's a real nice bit of Royal Porcelain Factory from Berlin, hand painted and in lovely condition. No chips, no scratching, no nothing. So really pleased with that. Okay, so moving on. Just want to let you know I've got 2 seriously amazing items to show you towards the end. One is a nude bronze of a lady, and I'm going to show you towards the end because I don't want anybody getting offended by showing the nude form, even though it's art, so they can turn off towards the end if need be. And I've also got a pair of 19th century carved marble panels that are to die for. But we'll carry on for now. I got a couple of smaller pieces to show you first of all. I have a piece of Chinese porcelain, Texing cargo. So you can see there the foot rim. Now, I've had quite a bit of this Texing. My last piece, I was 100% confident that it was right, and I sold it within days. Now this one isn't nowhere near as refined as my last, but looking at it, the paste looks good. It's got a little bit of kiln grit. The pattern's right. So a little bit of research, but I'm pretty confident that this is a Texing cargo bowl. Texing being a ship that sunk in 1822, Chinese porcelain. Now, I've paid £20 for this bowl. It's in good condition. It's no chips, no cracks. Now, assuming it is 1822 Texing cargo, this is going to be about a £70 bowl in good condition. My last one I sold for £45 and it was cracked. And as I said, it went within days. So that's where we're at with that one. Beautiful little thing. Now this is all painted. This is supposed to be fungus pattern. But as I've said, it's not the most refined at all. If I just quickly show you the Texing. Okay, just quickly, I've searched through Google, just Texing cargo. I just want to show you the variation that this shipwreck had. Here they sold 200 pieces of it in one go. Here on the right hand side, if you look here, is a good example of the difference in the glaze color. Just showing you how varied this cargo was. It's not all just pure brilliant white cargo. And the bowl I have is the same shape as this one here, very similar shape, wherever it's gone, there in the center. And the pattern obviously is, this is the pattern it's supposed to be, but this is much more refined painting. It's a little bit more research to do, but I'm pretty confident it's a loosely drawn or painted Texing cargo bowl. I'm pretty confident, and it's probably going to be about £70, but I paid £20 for it, so anything over sort of £40–50, I'm a very happy chappy. Next piece we have is a beautiful little putty cat. Glass eyes, china body. This one's produced by Winstanley and it's a size number 1. They come in varying sizes. This is probably the smallest, and they come all the way up to a size 6, 7, something like that. Winstanley cats, very good money. Just quickly show you those. Okay, so I've just very quickly run a search to show you Winstanley, and they've done dogs, cats, you name it, they've done a whole host. I've got currently a pair of Winstanley meerkats available on my website. So you can see some of the prices. There's a little rabbit there, or hare, dogs, cats. They all pull good money. Now these are asking prices. I have got up sold prices to show you. There's a size 7 and they're asking £100. That's the largest size I think they do. 15 Winstanley cat collection. That's very cheap at £500 unless they're all tiny like I got. But either way, that's spectacular. Size 6 tiger. Winstanley is you know, it's a name you want to get. You can't mistake them. He's got the glass eyes in the ceramic body, and they do sell. Next piece we had was, some people call him moss agate. I think it's spinach jade, Chinese spinach jade cup. Now, unfortunately, it's got a chip. I didn't realize when I bought it that it had a little chip. Not a huge one, just a little chip on the rim. But the colouring on this jade is quite spectacular. So it's a carved jade stone cup. I paid a £5 for it, and in good condition. It wouldn't have been fortunes. It'd have been £25–30, something like that. Beautiful colouring though. I still think I'll get £10 or £15 for it as it is. It's just disappointing that I missed the chip on the rim. I was buying it in a hurry. It came out, I saw it, and went, I'll have that, please. Next piece we have is a little 20th century, I don't know, I don't think you'd call her a sucria. So it's just a dish and cover. Spectacular fine antique crystal or cut glass. Nice, beautiful cut nope. The dome is in good condition. This is hand-blown glass. The base, nice star-cut pontal on there. It's a real nice piece. It's probably early 20th century, I would say, probably 1910, 1920s at a guess, somewhere around there. Good quality piece. I paid a £5 for it. It's going to be £25–30, just as a nice usable piece. Whether you want it as a butter dish, a little block of cheese under it, something like that, it is spectacular and it can be used. No chips, no cracks, and listen to this. What an absolute beautiful sound. So a nice bit of English antique crystal or glass there for a £5 that's going to sell. Got to be £25–30 there. Next piece we have is a question mark. Now this came in with the Samson porcelain I bought earlier, so this one cost me £30 to get as well as the Samson. Now it is hand-painted memorial. Now if I look at the reverse, it's actually got a character mark on the back that looks Chinese. So it could be Chinese export porcelain. However, for me, for my money, this is 20th century. This is not a 19th century export porcelain plate. So it's one for research. This is going to go into my Chinese pile for study. You never know, one day I may find that it is a late 19th century or late Qing piece, and in which case it's going to be worth £200 or £300. As a 20th century piece, it's probably worth £40–50, not a million miles more than what I paid for it. So study piece, but a beautiful piece nonetheless. It's still a nice armorial, hand painted, nice colour into the enamels. But this foot rim here, it almost looks dirtied up. I don't think it's got a huge age, I really don't. But I don't think I done wrong buying her at £30 either. So share your opinions. If you're a Chinese buyer, collector, dealer, I wouldn't mind your opinions on this piece. Export porcelain, 20th century, 19th century, what's your opinions? I'm going to do some research on there. find out what we got. And another piece I haven't done research on yet, but I want to get it in the film just to show you, is this really strange little bronze. Do you know, it's African, I think, looking at it. Really, really strange. Beautiful little bronze. Now, I paid, I think it was £8 or £10 for this. It's about 4 or 5 inches tall. It's a nice little thing, nicely cast, but I can't tell you a lot about it at the moment. But I can tell you, once I find out who it is and put the history behind it, it's going to retail for something like £40 to £50. It's not going to be fortunes, but it's got a really nice colour and good quality casting. But little bronzes like this, they tend to sell between sort of £25, £30 and sort of £40, £50. So somewhere in that brackets they are. That then brings us to the final two pieces, which I've been waiting to get to. Now, if you're easily offended, then I suggest you turn off at this point, because I've got a bronze nude that is quite something. But she is going to be very graphic, as is the images I'm going to show you on the artist. The artist does erotic bronze. So we have a large bronze on marble of nude lady, and she is full nude. She's quite stunning, beautifully formed, a real nice stunning casting. Obviously she's still got her stockings on and her shoes on, but and a sort of bra, but that is all she has got on. I'll put some photos in just a moment of her. She's signed on the back, M. Nick. Again, I'll splice in photographs. She's about 12 inches tall. Give it a take, let me have a double check. 12 inches tall, weighs a ton, and she's a happy looking girl. She really is, full of style. Absolutely love this bronze. To be honest, I don't really want to sell it. I'm going to splice in some photos now, and then we're going to have a little look at some of the stuff the artist does. Okay, this is where it starts getting a bit graphic now. You see this man here, this archer. I actually could have bought one of them up in Malvern and didn't realise the monies they were pulling on these. The Indian chief, they actually had one of them up there and I left it there. Didn't even ask the price. But there's the artist. He comes down. As you can see, he does erotic bronze. People during sexual act, nudes, full nudes, you name it. But as you can see, they are all big monies. So, you've seen the erotic nature of my bronze. You've seen what he does. They're all selling sort of between £300 and £1,000. You can even buy them as erotic bronzes on Amazon. So this M. Nick is a known listed artist, specializes in erotica, done in bronze, beautifully cast, and I haven't decided yet whether to sell her or not. Now I've paid about £100 for her, which I think is cheap. Very cheap. I'm very disappointed with myself for not buying the chief, Indian chief, the archer. That was quite spectacular, and that stood about 2 foot tall. So I should have bought it. But to be totally honest with you, if I can't get somewhere around £300-400 for this lady, I'm going to be keeping her. She is beautiful, and I was quite pleased to buy her. The weight and the quality is quite spectacular. Now my final piece, I can't go into detail too much, but I'm going to show you them. But these are going to have a film all on their own, because I think these are quite special. I've got a pair. Okay, I'll just show you one for a second. These are hand-carved marble panels. They're in a sort of neoclassical form. You got this gentleman here holding the lady's hand. You got all the shrubbery around them, by a water fountain there. Now these are signed and dated. They're in 1842, I think it is. That's this one. Now these come out of the vaults in Bath, so the house clearance gentleman told me. And there's the other. And I think they're going to be like courting couple or something along them lines. You've got the gentleman there, and she's sitting down holding her handkerchief. Really nice, spectacular marbles. There's the date there. Bear with me. I'm going to try and splice in the date. It might be 1848. It's hard to see. And they are fully signed, artist signed. So these are going to be done in a film on their own. Now I think these have got serious pedigree behind them. You don't get carved marble very often. Now, the first thing I did at the fair was rip the back open. I ripped the back open and I give the stone a damn good scratch to check it was marble and make sure what I was buying was legit. So I'm going to open them and I'm going to clean them very carefully, clean them, photograph them, repack them. This glass is covered in proper mold, early mold. They got like a velvet back into them. But these are something special. They could be seriously good money. It all depends on the artist. I'm not even going to speculate on the value yet, and I'm not going to tell you the price I've paid either. You're going to have to watch the film when I do it on these pair of marble panels, and honestly, you won't be disappointed when you see the quality of the work, the carving that's gone into them. Once I open them up and get the name, if it's a real good artist, they're dated, they're in good condition, they could be going up to Sotheby's up in London. They really are that good. Final piece I'm going to show you in today's video is again another spectacular piece. We have a very large, I'm not sure if you call them a cloche or just a cover. It would have been for like cheese. It didn't have the base. Probably would have had a big massive lump of Stilton underneath it or something. Now this is Wedgwood jasper ware. It's 19th century. You can always tell by this translucency of the white applied decoration. It is quite spectacular quality. It really is something. Now, it's got a very tight old hairline, unfortunately, but look at the quality of that. Now, you can't even see, oh, look at that acorn nope. Didn't even realize it was an acorn. It's quite stunning. Now, you can't see the hairline from the outside, hardly, but there it is, just running down by there. Now, because of that hairline, this owes me a £5. How the hell can you go to Malvern and come on with something like this for a £5? Now, I can tell you, in good condition, with the base, you'd be asking probably £500–600 for a piece of this size and quality. Just the lid should be £100–150, no problem at all, just for the lid. However, with that crack, I still think it's going to be £40–50. Happy days. And for a £5, it's such a beautiful looking thing. Really is. So that is my weekend's buy-in Malvern in a nutshell. I bought a whole heap of stuff and I'm over the moon with every single thing I bought. I really am. There's not one item I bought I don't absolutely love. And if I can buy that type of stuff every time I go to Malvern, I'm going to be a very happy man. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, I would very much appreciate a like and a share. go check out my other haul videos. I've had some spectacular stuff over the last couple of months, and well, what can I say? I'm over the moon. Thanks for watching, guys.